Hey, so it's actually not blistering hot today. It's nice and cool. There's some rain in the forecast, but I thought I would go out and check on the bothy, see how things are going out there. It's been probably a couple of weeks since I've been out there, and I thought since I was going, I would take you guys along, give you sort of a tour of how we get in. This is a path next to the gravel road that is next to my neighborhood, and because of my situation out here in the woods, um, these aren't my woods. Um, I like to keep a low profile, and so I am wearing my Digicamo backpack, but I make an effort to look like I'm just sort of, going on a hike, which I am. That's all I'm doing, right? Deep woods off. Swear by this stuff. Smells great. Only makes you mostly greasy. I like to think that if I ever were to come across a bear or something like that out here, that it would smell me coming due to the pipe smoke and the deep woods off. Surely it's got to smell me coming and run away, right? So this is well, you can't really see anything. It's just a bunch of brush, but I'm walking in the overgrown trail down to the woods. I always stop at this little pond, this little drainage pond. There's a larger pond that way, and it's got a big old fence around it. But there's usually something cool to see down here. Also right below somebody's house, so try to be pretty stealthy. Go down here and check out whatever we can find. Usually there's a snake or a turtle or some tadpoles or something. There was something just moved. Oh, no. Yeah, there was a frog. Everybody's swimming around real fast in there. Okay, now we're on this little, what I call the road. At one time it was probably a road, development road. But as you can see, it's a little grown up. And usually kind of nervous walking through here for a couple of reasons. One is that there's houses right through there. Two, almost always there's some sort of large mammal in those bushes there. Probably deer. One time I spooked up a bear, and I just always hope that they see me before I see them, and they just get out of there. I mean, I like seeing deer, and hell, I like seeing bear, but I don't want to surprise anybody in thick cover. Right through there is the industrial facility, and I try to be stealthy there as well. And also, at the same time, I try to watch my step. Just make sure I'm not going to disturb any reptile friends. Back in the spring, I was coming out here, 3 times a week. I really don't come out here now that much because it's so hot. It's so overgrown. It's not worth the risk of ticks and snake bites and the like. To come out here on a regular basis, just because it's so hot. I'd rather be standing, waist deep in a creek fishing with my outdoor time. But I do like to keep track of things out here, and when you're coming, every day, every other day, you really notice any small difference. This log was over here and now it's over there. Ooh. What was that? Did you guys hear that? Probably a bird. Oh, right. I was saying. So you notice lots of little differences when you come only every couple of weeks. It's kind of like a new land each time you come. And usually I stop right here behind this little tree. Actually, I usually stop behind that big tree and just kind of stand still for a minute, scope everything out, make sure I'm alone. Yeah, what I heard earlier was a crow. They're up there making some kind of ruckus. Yeah, what the hell is this thing? It's like a spider with a turtle shell on its back, or like a spiky exact. I don't know, but I am not walking through its web. Yeah, so again, that's yet another risk for the reward of coming out here. This is a hole. Interesting. What I want to show you. Oh, look at these. Right. Okay. Sorry. This sort of orange fungus. I bet that's safe to eat, right? That's nature's way of telling you this tastes good, right? When it makes it a bright color. This is one of the baby bothies that was built back in the spring, I assume, by neighborhood children. I assume their bothy isn't holding up as well as mine. Of course, I haven't been out to mine yet today. It's probably burned down or something. I don't like to cross through other people's space, so we're going to do a little roundabout here because I want to show you this thing. Now, up through there in the bright section of the trees there are some houses. So I assume that there's just some kids that come down and work on projects, much like I'm doing. This one's pretty impressive though, y'all. We'll do a little 360 here. Yeah, pretty impressive. And what is this? What is this? Do we have bones? No. Okay, good. My bothy's still the only bothy with lots of bones. Nice flat open section leading up to the houses there. So yeah, this little teepee thing, it's pretty cool. I feel like I want to give these kids some advice. You should not build with twine, y'all. Use paracord for that stuff. Doesn't rot. Okay. Again, don't want to get too up in other people's space. I like my space. We should respect their space. All right. Let's forge ahead. There's the creek down there. The other structure that has appeared since I've been playing around in these woods is this little bridge here. And it seems to be to have been added to over time. I walked over it last time and broke the biggest log. So I need to come contribute another log to whoever's building this. This is kind of the creek at its average flow. Last time I was here, there were a couple of turtles, getting a moment to themselves right here in this patch, and so just checking. I don't know if turtle porn is a thing, but I'm sure Pornhub or somebody would pay me for a video like that, right? Really hope these are crawdad holes. One day I'll come down here and dig one of these up and see if I can find whatever's living down there. If it's not a crawdad, then it's some kind of other creature, and I probably don't want to mess with that. Okay, so we came from that way. That's the road. We crossed there. There's the teepee up there. Hang on, focus. There's the teepee up there. We came down this way. So you can kind of see where everything is. Here the tributaries of this creek join, and I usually cross this way. Looks like someone else has been crossing. There's some tracks. This is a nice little thicket here, and it's where I stash my hiking sticks. Before we get there, though, I want to show you something else. So right after the tributaries join, there's the little. I need to name that fish. Yeah, my little fish friend lives here. He's the one that I caught, air quotes, with my bare hands. I touched him and then I caught him with a fly. This spot changes really often, I guess, with the flow of whatever flows through here. So he might not live here anymore because it doesn't look that deep. Whoa! or something. Was that a frog? Did you guys see it? I'll have to... Ooh, there's another one. That was a big one. I want to get involved in any frog drama out here, y'all. Anyway, yeah, so here's that spot. Okay, so back on the usual trail now. This is the raccoon tree. A bunch of raccoons live in this tree. Looks like the crawdads or mystery earth-dwelling things from trimmers. They've been very active here. I always get a little nervous walking through these ferns because I can't really see what I'm stepping on. So we're just going to be super careful and make Indiana Jones quotes, I think. Right? In Latin, Jehovah was spelled with an I. So now we're passing through this little thicket. Here's where I store my hiking sticks. And the thing with the hiking sticks is that I've been losing them. I know where they are, but they're so far up the mountain that I don't really want to go retrieve them. Maybe we'll get to that today. Now we're approaching this little rise here, and this is often where I see larger wildlife, usually because I come up here and it's standing right there. But nothing today, I don't think. A little panorama here. So Bothy is at our 12 o'clock right now, about 100 yards through those trees. When it's wet out like this, it's very easy to move quietly, which is another reason I decided to come out today. So this tree came down in one of the storms this winter, and I really feel like I should do something with it. Shovel and Shane and I chopped some pieces off of it and used them to complete one of the walls in the Bothy. I've used some of the bark. It just seems like a huge resource just laying there that I don't really know what to do with. Incidentally, this was a place where the vandals that discovered my collection of glass in the Bothy broke some of it and broke it against this tree. I see some other things over there worth checking out. I hate every aspect and kind of mushroom. These things are just incredibly disgusting to me, but I will show you because I know that not everyone feels that way. I don't want to touch it, but for the sake of scale, there's my hand. And then just something over there. Just a few yards away is where they cut the right of way down. And that's been a month. Oh, Spider-Man! Oh. Yeah, so here's the right of way. In the fall, when it's not so hot, I'm gonna come and harvest a lot of this wood that's been chopped down for future building projects. Hope it doesn't rot too much, but I think it'll be okay. I've already started a small collection, but that, I don't know if you go, maybe you live in a desert or something, but that is like that's a snake heaven right there. So I'm not gonna mess with that during the heat of the summer. We're not alone in the woods right now. There's something up there. Not quite sure what it is. Hope we get some pictures. Home sweet home. So I usually approach the Bothy from this direction. My preference, this is an old development road, construction road of some sort. My preference is to walk up the road and then take a left that way and go in that way. But given how grown up it is, I have not been doing that. I just kind of go along this way, on the outside edge. Definitely somebody up in this tree. It's probably a giant woodpecker. Yeah, he's up there somewhere. There he is. Oh, come on, do something awesome. Don't just peck at it. Just what? Man, that is a big bird. Okay, alright, I'm gonna try to gotta steady the camera a little bit. See him? There he goes. Crazy woodpeckers. Always pecking on wood. Alright, so here we are. I like to do a little 360 when I get here just to make sure everything is as it should be. I don't think we're gonna... Way to be stealthy, Max. Alright, I don't think we're gonna spend too much time here right now. I just like to check in. Man, there's a lot of... There's something, some sort of ground-based animal over there. Alright, yeah, everything looks good to me. Okay, so we're here inside the bothy, and everything is good. Just a quick tour. If you haven't followed my videos and don't want to go back to like last November or whenever it was that I built this place, straw floor comes from the right of way up the mountain, which I'll show you in a minute. There's my, what I call my anvil, little work surface. I sometimes sit on that rock. I sometimes sit on this log. Here's the doorway. The place is so small that it's kind of hard to show it all in one go. Interesting thing here. When my witch friend was in town back in the spring, she took me to a witch store, and I you know, I didn't want to be rude. So I bought this little stone cat to keep out here because we have a bobcat in the neighborhood, right? So now it's in this little knot. It was in the crook of this tree. It was really wedged in there too. And one time I found it, like, you can kind of see, found it like, yeah, maybe 20 feet that way. I don't know what had moved it, what got it out of the crook of that tree and moved it all the way over there. Pretty sure it might have been the saber-toothed log pooper, actually. Some kind of witchy creature in the woods. But there he is. He watches over the place when I'm not here. And I always like to, whoa, what is this shit? This aggression will not stand, man. It's one thing for mushrooms to grow in the woods, but not in my bothy. Not today. Okay, so we're approaching the right of way here, and again, kind of a snaky place, and when you're in the middle of it, you can be seen from either end if there's anybody looking, so I try not to linger here. This is where I cut my straw for the floor. It's also where I get all of my ticks. Okay, attempt number 1. It's not always easy to find your way through this place, and the paths sort of change, I guess, with whatever animals use them. Oh man. Yeah, okay, this is not for the faint of heart, y'all. Honestly, if I weren't shooting this video, I would turn around and go home, but if I can't get through this right away, then I can't get to points of higher altitude in my woods, and that's not cool. So we gotta figure something out. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry, but this is a no-go. I am just not motivated to do what it takes to get up the mountain. I certainly have plenty of irrational fears, and maybe just wouldn't be a day in the woods if I didn't find a bone. Alright, well, what should we do with this one? Ew, gross. We'll just put that right there where it won't get lost. Perfect. So anyway, irrational fears, as I was saying. Maybe I shouldn't be as afraid of this as I am, but I don't like walking through big, thick brush like that for a variety of reasons. But at the top of the list are snakes and bees. Excuse me, Hannibal Mike. I mean, stinging insects. Hannibal Mike got all sensitive last time because bees are our friends and yellow jackets and hornets are not. Whatever, if they're stinging my ass and I can't run from them because of all the brush, I don't care what they are. So now we're, I got one more option for trying to find a way up the mountain. It's a nice hole. Okay, so we've made it back to the creek, and the way that I thought of going was that way. And it's pretty much impassable. So, look, the only thing up the mountain is Panic Attack Ridge, which you've seen in several videos now, and my little crow's nest spot, which I think I've only showed you in one video, but yeah, you're not missing much. So this has been a pretty good tour, and I'm sure we'll see more on the way out. Once I found a giant pile of bear poop right here, and right over there by that log is where I found the deer skeleton. Hey buddy, what are you doing? Can we be friends? I could feed you woolly buggers. I got a lot of them. Alright. Well, good to see you anyway. Cool. Alright. These are my woods. Thanks for coming along. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. Did you guys see me stare down those vicious charging baby deer? It's pretty brave, huh? Anyway, I feel bad about not taking you up the mountain, so I'm going to take you to one of my fishing spots, show you around. Okay, first catch of the evening, a little war paint shiner. This spot is 20 minutes from my front door. So a group of rhododendron is called a hell. And so I'd say I'm in hell. That's some serious dry fly water though right there. So I have never come through this section without regretting it, actually. This place is really hard to fish because of all the foliage. And it's really tight quarters. We'll see if I can pull anything out of this hole. Okay, here we have number 3 for the evening. Beautiful war paint shiner. And I'm betting that's all I'm going to catch tonight. Ah, jeez, man. Okay, so I'm in the spot where I saw the bear earlier this year, and as I was walking in, sorry for the key noise, as I was walking in, passed a guy and he said, hey, watch out for bears. There's been one. I saw one about 45 minutes before, and it was a bear cub was climbing down a tree, and the mama bear was standing watch at the bottom of the tree, and the guy approached not knowing they were there, and he came around a corner and she got all upset and was doing the head shaking, jaw snapping stuff. So I've had that story in my head since I've been out here this evening, and I was walking back down the trail and heard a growl and a noise right beside me, and jumped out of my skin, screamed like a little girl, because that's I actually did it on purpose, because that's what you're supposed to do if you encounter a bear. Anyway, turned on my flashlight, and and there was this thing climbing a tree, and I was like, oh god, where's the mama? She's gonna kill me. And then I realized the thing climbing the tree was a raccoon, and it had growled at me. So that was pretty, yeah, it was just a sobering moment. And I've got probably another half mile to walk out of here, so you guys are just going to be along for that ride while I talk to the phone. And hopefully that'll keep me from surprising any bears. I know it's a pretty boring video, nice and dark. Here, does that help any? Well, that just makes it look even creepier, doesn't it? Right on. Whew. Yeah, my adrenaline is pumping after that. That was pretty good. Good little practical joke, nature. Check my 6 here. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll let you guys go. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for coming on these tours, and keep the ends out for the ties that bind.